I trained my whole life for this moment, and I couldn't handle the pressure. My name is Jeff Salzenstein, leadership speaker and performance coach, and I help leaders, teams, and organizations own their zone and help them handle the pressure. I've got some experience around this, playing professional tennis for over a decade, and in this particular moment, the biggest moment of my pro tennis career, I'm at the US Open. I had received a wild card into the main draw of the US Open back in 1997. The reason I received a wild card was because I had graduated from Stanford a year earlier. When I graduated from Stanford after having a great career there, I shot up the tennis rankings. I went from 800 in the world at the time to inside the top 150 in the world. So imagine that there are 80 million people that play tennis, and I'm in the top 150 in the world. But the benchmark in tennis is not 150, it's 100. 100 is the magic number. If you get into the top 100 in the world, you're playing in the main draw, you're making a lot more money. So I'm on my way up, climbing inside the top 150. United States Tennis Association, they saw what was happening. They saw this young American coming out of Stanford with a big left-handed serve, and they gave me the wild card. So in my first round match, I'm playing a gentleman by the name of Michael Chang from Sweden. He's about 65 in the world. If you're 65 in the world, you are the real deal. And somehow, some way, on home turf at Flushing Meadow in New York, in Queens, I win in a tough 4-set match. And so the match ends, and I'm signing autographs, and people are so pumped for me, so excited. Fans are coming up to me, and I get back to the locker room, and I remember my coach, Coach John Benson, also from Denver, Colorado, like me. He's sitting with me or standing next to me as I'm sitting down in the locker room. And he looks at me and he goes, "You know what's next, right?" I'm like, "What? I just won the match. I don't know what's next. We're going to go eat, shower." He goes, "You're probably going to play world number 2, Michael Chang, on Arthur Ashe Stadium." Arthur Ashe Stadium is the iconic stadium in tennis and pro tennis at the US Open. It holds 24,000 people. And I look at him with a smile. The smile was like, oh my gosh, it's happening. This is the biggest moment of my career. I'm probably going to be playing against Chang under the bright lights of Arthur Ashe Stadium on a Friday night on Labor Day weekend. Imagine that. Your childhood dream is to play at the US Open, to play in the biggest events, to play pro tennis. You didn't even know you would play pro tennis 4 years earlier when you started at Stanford. You didn't even think it was possible based on where you were with your development. And now you're here, serving big, playing big, dominating, beating players in the top 100 in the world, getting the attention from other fans and coaches and people saying, "This guy, I think he has the it factor." So I'm smiling around all of this, but internally I'm feeling the pressure, right? Like I'm about to go in front of millions of people in the pressure cooker against one of the best players in the world. I mean, Michael Chang, he had won the French Open years prior. If you remove Pete Sampras from the equation, at that time, he was the odds-on favorite to win the US Open that year. He was probably the most consistent and most mentally tough player on the planet at the time. So steady, so consistent, incredible endurance. And I'm going up against him. And the match against Tillstrom that I won, it ended on a Tuesday. So now I had 3 days to think about it, to practice a little bit each day, to prepare, but to think and probably overthink, right? That's what happens when you have a lot of time before a big match. You have time to think, and you got to keep yourself busy, and you got all this nervous energy and anxiety and stress that's building up because you're eager with anticipation. And you know, the best athletes in the world, they know how to handle the pressure. I had played big matches in my pro career in the juniors. I had played big matches in college, playing in the NCAA team finals twice, actually 3 times. So I knew what pressure was like, but I had never played on a stage like this with 24,000 people on TV, millions watching, John McEnroe announcing the match. This had never happened before. And so I get out on the court and I'm nervous. I mean, leading up to that match, I had warmed up 3 times that day, thinking I might forget how to play tennis. And then I get out on the court in front of everyone and I start slow. I'm tentative, I'm nervous, but luckily because I had a big serve, I was able to hold serve twice and get it to 2-all in the first set. And that's when I took my first deep breath. That's when I started to own my zone. The next 15 minutes, I was playing the best tennis of my life, handling the pressure. I win the first set 6-4 after hitting a big serve, coming in, hitting an open court volley that he can't reach. The set goes to me. The crowd goes crazy. I was handling the pressure until I wasn't. Because in that moment, I took the foot off the gas, kind of felt like I had won, winning just one set off of Michael Chang. But what I realized after having so much time to reflect on my career in this particular match is that there was only so much pressure that I could handle in the moment. I could only sustain this level of excellence for a period of time before that pressure was getting to me. Whereas Michael Chang and the others that are number 1 in the world, top 10 in the world, they can sustain their level longer because they can handle the pressure that comes their way. They have a stronger foundation. Their fundamentals are in place. For me, there were questions at that time early in my career about my endurance. Could I go 5 sets? Could I play for 5 hours? Could I stay injury-free throughout the match? Would I cramp up physically? Mentally, did I have what it take to withstand the pressure? Emotionally, could I process and regulate the emotions that were coursing through my body, the stress that was coursing through my body? And the answer at that time was no. I'd like to be able to tell you that I could do it, and I did it. But in that particular moment, it was too big for me. And so when I think about leaders and I think about teams that are dealing with a lot of pressure, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world, uncertain markets, dealing with teams, staff shortages, the pressure of pricing with different companies and what they're experiencing, founders and entrepreneurs and startups. There is so much pressure. Your life is on the line. Your livelihood is on the line. That's what it was like for me playing pro tennis. If you don't win, you don't make money. If you don't win, you fall down the rankings. And in that moment, on that biggest stage, when I could have risen up and owned my zone for the next 4 hours, 5 hours to beat Michael Chang, I just didn't have the capacity. He had more capacity than I did. He had a stronger foundation. He could last longer. It was, I dare say, boring and consistent the way that he could keep going longer than I could. So I want you to think about when you get into these big moments, how are you handling the pressure? Can you handle the pressure? Do you shrink or do you expand? Do you have the tools? Do you have the foundation? Do you have the pro fundamentals in place to be able to own your zone? Because that's what it's going to take, having the tools physically, mentally, and emotionally to be able to restore the body, rewire the mind, and reconnect to the heart to own your zone. And you develop those skills over time. I'm still practicing these skills today, and thankfully this framework allows me to lean into it so that it's clear and accessible and it's tangible. And that's what I want for you. I want you to be able to handle the pressure in the biggest moments of your life.